gave themselves a chance. Not even the gentleman that approached me and said hi. They didn't even give themselves a chance for a yes. That's just something you guys take with you though. Is that when you're in that position, you know, you may get turned down. I was talking to Dylan. He's been at my neck he said from the Breakfast Club video and World Star Hip Hop. He's been on Twitter. Hey man, I want to be an intern. Hey, what's up? Inbox. Hey, I'm not done yet. I'm never going away. What's up? Hey, I order shop. What's up? He did. And he got into me. And I let him help manage social media for my $10 million listing in Alpine, New Jersey, all the way from Detroit. Never met him a day in my life. Because it's persistence, it's consistency, I let him manage one of the biggest listings I ever had in my life. Social media. Because of his diligence. Right? It's those kind of intangibles that really set us apart in levels. But so that's just something really to learn us for all you guys. You have that opportunity. And I get them at times. There's people that, you know, that I like to meet or a situation that I like to be in. I tell one of my proteges, Chris Darty. For those of you in the academy, you see Chris in the virtual protege videos that we have powered by Google Glass. And Chris shadows me, and I do a lot of business with him. He's a 23-year-old kid from outside of Philly. But I teach him a lot about different ways I move and different things that I do. And being aggressive, being assertive, putting yourself in a space that you want to be in. It's like for all of you who want to get into wholesaling, flipping, buying, being a realtor, just any reason you're here for real estate. And Beyond and I were talking about this on the way from the airport. You could really, I can't say you can do anything in the world you want to do, because there are going to be limits, right? So that anything word is obviously pretty vague. But you can do most things. You can do a lot of things that you don't believe you can do, all by putting yourself in that space. It's you putting yourself in that space. It's like, this is who I want to be. So now I'm going to put myself here. I'm going to put myself in this environment. I'm going to keep myself here, make myself relevant here, and I'm going to announce myself. It's one of the biggest things that I tell all my students. You've got to announce yourself. If you want people to know that you're in the room, that you're in the building, you've got to announce yourself. And you never know, outside of me, maybe nothing happens with you or me and my brand, or someone else you met here tonight in that little 3-minute period, or later on this evening. Might be your connect, might be your partner, might be your next $100,000, your next $10,000. It might be a resource to a whole nother, might be a new best friend, I don't know. So it's all about putting yourself in the spaces that you want to be in and never telling yourself no. And a lot of times people would tweet me, especially, I have an affinity and obviously empathy and a spot in my heart for men and women who come home from jail, come home from prison. I know that experience. I spent 2.5 years in prison. So I get a lot of attention and attraction from men and women with the same or similar circumstances or relate to that circumstance. So a lot of them are like, well, how do you get into real estate with felonies? Or how do you become a realtor with felonies? I heard you can't do it. And then my thing is, well, who'd you ask? You heard you can't do it from what? JoJo in the block? You heard from your homie Hood that you couldn't get a real estate license? Like, you hear from the real estate commission? They told you this? And when they told you this, did you tell them that I don't accept your no, I want to appeal it? Like, you didn't put yourself in that space. You'd rather tweet me and ask me as opposed to take the steps towards your own life. People told me that I couldn't do it, and I went and did it with 3 felonies in 3 different states, like the worst of the worst. And it was a matter of me going through the progression because I wanted it that bad. I wanted to be in real estate. And it's because I wanted a change for my life that bad. And real estate just happened to be that first thing I could grab onto. My point being is that when it came to that hurdle of getting a real estate license, even with 3 felonies, and I didn't even, when I got into real estate, it was 2005, I got my license, I didn't even have an email. Like, no email. I didn't even understand email. Like, what's an email? It was like the most frustrating. Then I had 3 emails. So I went to Keller Williams, I had my Keller Williams email, then I had some kind of Yahoo account and something else, and it was just the most confusing thing in the world. And that's just a progressive part of growth. It's just a learning process. But I know where I want to be. I wasn't going to let that stop me. When I applied for my real estate license, I passed the test. The day I got my license, I remember the rapper The Game, had his first album out, the one 50 Cent, Hate It or Love It and all that. And I would listen to that going to my class, or I think it was leaving my class, where I passed the test. I actually got one wrong on a real estate test. It was pretty good. And I took that class, and I cried leaving that real estate class. I didn't make no money, I didn't close no deals, but it was the fact that I took the next step. Like I actually committed to get out of the streets, and I really took the next step, and I passed the class. And then I went in to get my license, and they sent me a denial back and said, in order for you to get your license, we're gonna need X, Y, and Z because of your record. And I had to get referrals and character references, and I had to drive all the way to Cumberland, Maryland by West Virginia to get a printed out report of my case there. And in Jersey, and I had to get all this stuff. I had to go to New York and get a printed out report of my case in New York. And they sent me through all these hurdles that could have deterred me from getting my license, and I went and completed, everything I had to do, and went on to making almost 6 figures my first year. I get a lot of what I see too, especially from our young people, is a lack of professionalism. Especially from a lot of young men. A lot of young men are more emotional than young women. It's crazy. It's like nuts. So because you didn't get the response you wanted on an Instagram post or a tweet, or because your academy lessons, you can't see your lesson for some reason, there's a software glitch, or because this crazy software I have builds you the wrong time or something, it doesn't mean have a little temper tantrum and have a fit. That's not a professional's act. And I had the same conversation with one of my employees yesterday who had a customer service conversation. He got so frustrated with the person that he cost our company nearly $1,000 because the person just didn't want to do business anymore because he couldn't handle a professional conversation. So even when you're not getting the response you want, having that smile, having that tone, still having that engagement, like those things are very important because you want someone to always leave with the right impression of you. It's cool to make a great first impression, but then what's your lasting impression? And what's your last impression? So being professional at all times, being on your A game at all times, those things will carry a very, very long way in your professional careers, no matter what it is. I don't care if you're dressed down and you're doing real estate, you got your construction boots on, you got paint all over you and all that, you still give somebody a firm handshake and you still can say, I'm well, thank you. Or how you doing today, or good evening. Doesn't make a difference. You carry that with you at all times.
My name is Dominique Bonner, and I came to this seminar with Mr. J, Real Estate, to understand the concepts of how to buy and sell real estate, and also get a general idea of how you actually go about investing and buying homes and how to be successful within doing that. The things that I've learned today coming into the seminar was basically that it takes aggression, persistence, and talent to get you there and to get you to the next level of putting yourself in the room with people who do business as far as real estate, selling homes and buying homes, and gaining not just capital gains or residual income, but an overall spectrum of talents and ideas that can get you to the next level.
Okay, good evening. My name is Jatan Barksdale, and I came out to the Jay Morrison event. I thought it was very, I learned a lot. It was very knowledgeable, asked a lot of questions. I learned a lot about the investment side. So I'm definitely going to join the academy, the 30-day free trial academy he has going on. And I just learned a lot. It was very enjoyable. Like to see people doing their thing and making money.